A stop sign doesn't get much more obvious than this. Tunnels across Sydney have been forced to install water curtains because truck drivers are ignoring warning signs. The city needed a barrier to put at the entry point of the tunnel. So, as much as they'd like to put a hard physical barrier, you can't put things in front of vehicles doing 60 or 80 kilometers an hour. Thus, they needed a virtual barrier that would be imposing enough to stop traffic. The soft stop barrier system produces a holographic image that appears to float in midair, commanding the attention of the motorist and making the stop message impossible to miss. Here is why tire companies love EVs. The business of tires is a business of slow change, slow growth, and low margins. The industry is competitive, and a lot of buyers often do not know the difference between one brand and another. Price is usually the only differentiator, but the future may look a lot different. Many believe a real move to EVs will open up a whole new realm of opportunity. After all, EV tires cost 50% more and need to be changed 20% more often. A Tesla vehicle replaces its tires every 15,000 miles instead of every 40,000 or 50,000 miles. This is why American cars don't sell in Japan. More than 95% of all cars sold in Japan are Japanese. The Japanese don't seem to be interested in America's SUVs, trucks, muscle cars, or just about any vehicle made by Detroit. The reason US cars are so rare in Japan, the world's third largest car market, has more to do with Japanese consumer tastes. The Japanese have pretty specific needs. For one thing, space is incredibly tight. Wildly popular in Japan are these so-called K cars, which are tiny vehicles preferred by drivers who have to thread their way through narrow streets and crowded cities. K cars alone make up 40% of the Japanese market, and US automakers don't make them. This robot goes between people to keep everyone safe. Traffic stops are dangerous. Thousands of motorists and officers are hurt. 100 of them die. Put a robot in danger, not people. The robotic arm deploys from the police car, extends to the driver's side window. As it deploys, it places spikes between the front and rear tires to prevent the motorist's vehicle from fleeing the scene. The robot's camera and microphone provide the face-to-face interaction that is crucial for communication between the motorist and officer. The motorist is able to scan the driver's license using the robot's barcode scanner and hold the registration papers up to the camera for the officer to see. The motorist signs the citation on the robot's signature pad, and a small printer inside the police robot prints out the ticket. The fact that Americans love big cars probably won't shock anyone. When driving in a low-lying car, you'll notice something almost immediately. When sitting in traffic, you either can't see past the car in front of you, or the cars around you are towering over you. The reasons behind this transformation are more than just cultural. It all goes back to a 50-year policy that would kick off a huge shift in the way US cars are designed. In other countries, one deterrent for big cars is that they cost so much to fill up with gas. But due to low taxes on gas in the US, fuel is extremely cheap compared to other countries. Car commercials are all lies, like most things that only last 30 seconds. Most of the car commercials are shot without the actual car. The companies believe that this is a much cheaper way to create car commercials. It cuts out the hassle of actually obtaining a car and scheduling reshoots if something goes wrong or doesn't look right. The rig provides video producers with integral raw footage like how a car dynamically behaves, after which the video producer throws a CGI body of the desired advertised car. This machine has been used in a number of ads for Chevrolet and GMC. Comment "I only last" and let your keyboard auto-complete it for you. Dead Bodies crash tested your car. Crash tests on vehicles, besides being oddly soothing to watch, have some practical applications. Crash testing is how we figured out how to build cars that wouldn't explode after a minor accident. Wanting to see what kind of damage a car accident would do to a human body, engineers got the bright idea to place cadavers in vehicles before crash testing them. The first cadavers used for this type of testing were liberated from medical schools. These days, highly sophisticated crash test dummies are used to gauge the type of damage a passenger would receive, but there's only so much that can be learned in simulation. That's why human cadavers are still used in crash tests. Here is why these road markings are being removed. All stay mark tape can be applied without primer. Before application, the road should be clean and dry, and swept to remove any loose debris. After initial application, the stay mark tape should be tamped using a roller to ensure adhesion to the road. The tape has a mixture of glass and high-index ceramic beads, which deliver high levels of reflectivity even when fully submerged in water. This ensures excellent visibility of lines in all weather conditions. Stay mark temporary tapes have an embedded net to ensure they do not tear during removal, making the process simple and fast. Modern EVs can do a lot more than drive around in silence, especially when it comes to flagship models like the NIO ET9. In a new video published by NIO, highlights its Skyride intelligent chassis system by shaking off snow and ice from its bodywork without any human intervention. At the launch of the ET9, NIO showed a demonstration video featuring the ET9 prototype with a tower of 4 tiers of champagne placed at the front of the car, going over speed bumps, but the champagne not spilling. On January 5th, NIO shared another video showing the ET9 prototype 2 front wheels moving up and down in a shallow puddle of water at high frequencies, while 2 water-filled glasses placed on the hood remained stable. Hybrids are flying off lots faster than even plain internal combustion cars. Automakers are selling lots of hybrids, especially those without a plug. Automakers are realizing that they still have to sell cars right now, not in the future. And right now, this is what people want to buy. If you get a hybrid off of the lot at a dealership, a lot of times that vehicle already has a customer. Even automakers that had made some bold commitments to go all electric are now pulling back on EV manufacturing in favor of them. One of the reasons legacy manufacturers are seeing an EV sales slowdown has been Tesla's aggressive price cuts throughout 2023. Have you ever wished to sit in a chair and remain seated comfortably until it's your turn while waiting in a queue? Japan's automotive maker Nissan says it has a solution. The ProPilot chair negotiates queues on behalf of its occupants. It uses special technology to help the chair move down the line without a person having to get up. The chair uses sensors to automatically follow the chair in front of it. Nissan says it's planning to test the product in some restaurants.